Today's video is a response video to one on my friend's channel. Hey, isn't that Devon Graham? And I'm going to link him in the video description down below. If you haven't checked him out yet, go over and say hello. Hey guys, Stephanie here, and I'm back with more movie chatter. And before I get going with today's video, I just want to extend a big thank you to everyone who continues to support the channel and subscribe and leave nice comments, and we have great conversations about movies, and whether you leave thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you do, I appreciate all of it because we just passed the 2,000 subscriber mark. So that's a pretty good milestone for the amount of time that the channel has been here, and I am looking forward to the future. I'm just looking to keep going forward. So hopefully you guys will hang in there with me. But as promised, I told you when we hit 2,000 subscribers, I would do a giveaway. So that's what I have for you today at the end of the video. So stay tuned for that. And I'll show you what I'm giving away, and I'll tell you how to enter. And you know, top secret, just leave me a comment in the comment section. Let me know that you want to be entered. And that's how hard it is, right? So today what I have for you is a top 10 list, but it's a little different because I haven't done one in a little bit. And I thought I would do something a little different. So what I did is I picked out my top 10 slasher movies, but I left out the bigger franchises. Like, you won't see Halloween on here. You won't see Nightmare on Elm Street. No Child's Play films. No Friday the 13th films. So I wanted to make it a little more difficult for me to come up, a little more creative, I should say, to come up with films that maybe, I don't like to say underrated necessarily, because I don't know that these films are necessarily underrated, but maybe they're talked about a little bit less because the bigger franchises tend to take over those kind of conversations. Because of course we all know them, we love them, we grew up with them, or you came to know them once you got interested in any kind of horror films. And you know, you think horror, you think Halloween, you think Friday the 13th. So I wanted to do something a little bit away from that, and it gave me more choices to put on my list. So I'm going to get going with the first one, which is always fun for the holidays, Black Christmas. And this is definitely not one, I don't think this one is underrated at all. I think plenty of people have this on their list. I think it has a cool cult following. And I think a lot of that has to do with just that whole, there aren't a lot of Christmas horror movies out there, but the ones that are out there, I try to watch them because they're a lot of fun. And I love that mix between something horrible going on during what is supposed to be one of the happiest times of the year. And Black Christmas is great. And one of the scenes that always comes to mind is when you have the carolers out on the porch, these kids singing on the porch while this poor woman is being slaughtered inside. No one can hear her screaming because the kids are caroling. They're doing Christmas carols on the porch. But the whole vibe of like the Christmas music and the murders going on, it's just so off-putting that it works. It works to perfection. But I love this one, and I also like that we don't see the killer. I love that. I love that we're just kind of left to our own devices, and that is something that's very different, and I really like that. So here's the cover. This is the Scream Factory one, and I didn't do the reversible artwork. I haven't changed the artwork on the inside. But then there's also this iconic scene with the kill with the plastic bag over the woman's head. But yeah, if you have not seen Black Christmas, I highly recommend it. And even if you don't want to wait till the holiday season, put it in now. It works anytime. In my house, anyway. And this next one, you will never look at hedge clippers the same if you have not seen this one, Cropsey in the Burning. And I mean, what more could you expect? You have Tom Savini on the special effects. You know it's going to be a home run. And if you don't watch this for anything else than the raft scene with the hedge clippers, that right there sells the movie for me. But I think this is a really fun one. It's really well done, and like I said, you have Tom Savini on the special effects, so you know it's going to be a win. And this is the cover. Hopefully you can see that there. And you see those, the hedge clippers. Imagine being taken out by hedge clippers. That's got to be horrible. And I think that, yeah, the reversible artwork has that iconic silhouette scene of the hedge clippers and the silhouette of Cropsey. But yeah, this is a really good one. So if you have not checked out The Burning, definitely give it a look. So this is This is the next one on my list. And I want to say that these are in no particular order because I am so bad at deciding what's 1 and what's 10. To me, I like them all, so there's no order here. It's chaos, mad chaos. This next one is called Youre Next. And this movie probably has one of the most badass final girls I have ever seen in a movie. I can tell you, if I am ever in a horror type situation, I want to be on her team. And basically what this is a family gets together for, it might be Thanksgiving. I can't remember if it's an event or if they're just all getting together. And during dinner, as dinner starts, somebody starts picking them off right through the windows of the house. And then we have our, fight for survival. And like I said, the final girl in this one, she is a badass. She could take out anyone. And the people are wearing these really creepy masks, the people that are taking out the family members. And there are some twists and some turns in this one, but it's really, really a lot of fun. So if you haven't seen Youre Next, put it on your list. And this next one, they put Robert Englund on it, but he's only in this for maybe the first 10 minutes. And I think they really did that to get a little momentum behind the movie, but it holds up on its own. This is one of my favorites on this list. This is one of my favorites. It's called the Funhouse Massacre. And basically what it is it's a movie that takes place supposedly on Halloween night, and the local town has set up a haunted house that everybody can walk through. And the theme of the haunted house are these serial killers that are being held in a local institution, and it's all their crimes. So whatever crimes they've committed, that's one of the attractions, and they're kind of behind glass, and you can kind of walk through and see these simulated crimes and their murders. What ends up happening, Robert Englund runs the institution. What ends up happening is, of course, the guys get out and they take over the funhouse, so people don't realize what they're seeing are legitimate, real kills. And it is a really, really good movie and a fun, fun ride. And take a look at that cover. I mean, if that doesn't creep you out, I don't know what will. But some of the things that happen in here, it's just unnerving. But this is a lot of fun at Halloween. It's a lot of fun anytime, but I would definitely say Funhouse Massacre has to be on your list somewhere. And if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. Now, this next one could technically be considered part of one of the bigger franchises, but I gave myself a little loophole because it's a reboot. And it is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it's the reboot with Jessica Biel from 2003. Yes, it's 2003. And this is absolutely, for me, and I told you before, I scare easily. This was absolutely terrifying. This was so much scarier than the original, because I thought the original was a lot of fun, and you get to meet Leatherface and this crazy family, but it didn't really scare me so much. This terrified me. The kills were unbelievable. I thought this movie was just so just hardcore, and I was going to say something else, but I don't know if it was appropriate, but this was just straight up brutal, and Leatherface is brutal in this one. And I remember watching this with a group of friends, and at the end of the movie, I think someone had to go walk their dog or something. No one wanted to go outside, so I don't know what we did. The poor dog may have had to pee on a pee pad in the house, but no one wanted to go outside. But if you have not seen this one, I would definitely recommend checking this one out. And I know that this franchise tends to be one that jumps all over the place, and I don't even know what order they're supposed to go in, but this was the one from 2003. That's the cover there. And it is just, it says, even on the back says, you want scary? This is scary, and that's from a reviewer. But yeah, this scared the living crap out of me. So definitely check out the reboot of Texas Chainsaw. Now this one I recently rewatched. I was in the mood to watch it, so I checked it out. It's from 1983, so this one has a lot of nostalgia for me. And it is the first Sleepaway Camp. And I remember when this came out, I was in high school. I was high school age, so we would constantly, anytime we had sleepovers or get-togethers, this was the one that we always wanted to rent. We get it on VHS, and I remember watching it, and we're all screaming and carrying on. And it's so funny because not only does it have that nostalgia thing, because I remember how we all were, how we dressed, how we talked, how we looked, our haircut, horrible haircuts. I mean, you think my hair is bad now, you should have seen it then. It was a travesty. Anyway, when I watched this film over the weekend, I was laughing because they nailed it. They got it down even to the shampoo. The girl was in the shower and she was using Flex shampoo. And I remember Flex shampoo being it back then. And the haircuts and the outfits and like the guys in the short shorts and the short jean shorts and like all the bad outfits and the bad hair. They nailed it with this one. And one of the reasons I love this is because I like anything that takes place in the woods, like a camp type setting, you know, like a Friday the 13th or this, anything that has to do with camping in the woods and all that. It just freaks me out because I could just imagine being in the woods and hearing something and like you don't know who's there, you don't know who's out there, you can't see anything. Totally freaks me out. But this is a really good one, and this has one of the most shocking endings I've ever seen. It was a real shocker. I did not see it coming. So if you haven't seen the first Sleepaway Camp, I highly recommend it. The second, the third, I wasn't crazy about the third. The second one's okay, but the first two are okay. But this is my favorite by far, the first one. Definitely check that one out. Now, this one kind of falls into the category of the bigger franchises, but there's a reason that I have it in here. And it is the first Scream. And I'm going to show you. I got that signed by Neve Campbell. You can probably see that right there. But anyway, the reason I have this in here is because, first of all, it's an awesome slasher, and I think it kind of resurrected slasher films at a time when we really needed them, because this one was from 1996. So I was out of college about 6 or 7 years when this came out. And I remember going to see it in the theaters and really loving it because it had that great mix of the, like, that horror and a little bit of humor, but not over the top stupid humor. And it was just, it kind of felt like it was breathing fresh air into something that had gone stale. Like, I felt like every horror film, every slasher film in particular that I had seen, it just felt stale. And this came out and it was totally different, and the whole cast was like young and hip and cool, and we as a younger audience could totally relate to them. And the killer in this is terrifying. That whole ghost face mask, at the time, it was terrifying. I mean, I'm so used to seeing it now, but the first time we saw it, I was like, that is a really good killer. And, you know, anybody could be under there, so as we know. But I thought this was really good, and it brought back so many memories. And I just remember this film, to me, when I saw it, felt like a game changer. And that's why it's definitely, it has to be in my list, because I feel like there are certain films that you remember for maybe having such an impact on a genre when it needed it. And this was one of those films. And the kills are great, and the characters are great, and it was just so relatable for the audience they were going for. And they hit the mark with it. Really, it was a solid hit. So yeah, Scream, the first one, which I think the original one is still my favorite. Maybe a toss up between 1 and 2, but one is still probably my favorite. Now this one, I'm going to start fangirling. Hatchet 2, Victor Crowley, Kane Hodder. I'm going to fangirl over Kane Hodder. Now, I know a lot of people like the first one better. I, for some reason, just like the second one better. And if you don't know the story, you know, Victor Crowley is a deformed person who is taking people out left and right in the, it's Louisiana, right? New Orleans, in the New Orleans area. I always get that, well, it's Louisiana, but it's New Orleans. And you have Danielle Harrison here, who's terrific, and it's just a lot of fun, and he uses so many different things to take people out. I mean, you talk about an array of tools, he's got them all, and anything that Kane Hodder does, anything he puts his mark on is going to be a home run. So yeah, definitely check out anything in the Hatchet series. The first one, the second one, the third one. Victor Crowley is okay. I still have to like it because my boy is in there, but yeah, definitely check out Hatchet 2. Any of the Hatchets, like I said. And this one is from, let's see. I don't know. I don't see a date on here. But anyway, it's a good one. It says gore of great quality and quantity. Yeah, it says Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees ain't got nothing on Hatchet's Victor Crowley. And isn't that the truth? And I don't care what anyone says. I still think Kane Hodder was the best Jason ever. And this next one, this is one that I don't hear too many people talk about, but it's a really good film. And it's on here mostly because it has a very, very interesting premise. It's called Cherry Falls. It has the late Brittany Murphy in it. And the interesting thing about this is, you know, they say about the horror tropes, and it's always don't have sex or you're going to be the one that gets killed. Well, in this one, the killer is going after virgins. So that is a whole new twist to the whole horror tropes thing. But the funny thing is, the kids in the film, they're high school age kids, they decide to have a lose your virginity party, so of course it's a free-for-all. But if you haven't seen Cherry Falls, I would highly recommend checking it out. It's a lot of fun. And when they did the reveal, I was kind of surprised, but not really. But it was good. It was well done. I thought the acting was pretty good, and I thought the kills were good, and I really had a good time with this one. I thought it was really good, and I love that it was a different premise. It didn't just follow that same formula that we see in every horror film. It was different, so I like that. Cherry Falls, and here's the cover of that one. Probably check that out. And now this last one, I was not crazy about it the first time I saw it. It was okay, but it was late and I was tired. But let me tell you, subsequent watches changed my mind, and it's in a bag. So this is a really nice steelbook. It's called It Follows. And this is another one, a really interesting premise. And what ends up happening is when people have sex, they kind of pass this, whatever it is, this entity on to the next person, and it starts to kind of chase people around, and it goes after whoever the last person was to basically be tagged. It's kind of like a game of tag with sex. I don't know how you do that, but that's the premise. But it's really, really good. It's got a cool cast. It has some really good kills in it. It's just a lot of fun, and it's not like anything I've seen before. And that's kind of a lot of the theme in this stack that I have here. It has to be something different to have made the cut, for lack of a better term. But this is really good, and I really enjoyed it. And each time I watch it, I find something new that I like about it. And if nothing else, that first scene with the leg will always stick out in my head. It will forever stick out in my head. But here's it's kind of a retro looking steelbook. And then you have our main gal on the back, if you can see that. So yeah, It Follows would be my last one on the list. So those are my top 10 slashers. I guess under talked about slashers, not your typical mainstream slasher. So hopefully maybe there's something on here that you haven't seen before and you'll check it out. But what I'm going to do is I am going to grab the giveaway items, and I will be right back. Okay, my friends, it is giveaway time. And all you have to do to enter this giveaway is let me know in the comments that you'd like to be entered. You have to be subscribed to the channel, and then just let me know in the comments, yes, you want to be entered in the giveaway. And I am going to pick a name out of a hat next Wednesday, June 5th. I'll do it. I'll record it live here on the, well, not live, but I'll record it here, and I'll post a video next Wednesday where I'll announce the winner. I have 2 giveaway items. It'll be 1 winner for 2 items. And it's, of course, free to enter. There's no strings attached. Like I said, all you have to do is be subscribed to the channel and leave me a comment telling me that you want to be entered. And it's just my way of saying thank you to everyone who continues to support the channel. And like I say all the time, if you don't win this one, don't worry about it, because I have future giveaways planned. And the items that I'm going to be giving away this time, the first one is the 4K Ultra HD of The Witch. It's the new release of The Witch, or the latest release of The Witch. As you can see there, it is not opened, but you do get a 4K disc, you get a Blu-ray disc, and you get, I believe, a digital, yes, you get a digital copy. So if you don't have 4K capabilities, but you can watch a Blu-ray, you can still use it, still enter and win. And then the next one that I'm giving away is a 4K Ultra HD plus Blu-ray plus digital steelbook, and it is the 30th anniversary of Field of Dreams. So that is that. And I actually have mine open, so I will show you what it looks like. You have the front which looks like a baseball field. It's like a constellation stars there. Then you have the front, back, and spine. And you have some nice disc art, which you know we love that. That's the 4K. And then the Blu-ray is just a regular plain, just plain Blu-ray. And then you have some really cool black and white interior artwork, which I always love that. So those are the giveaway items: a Steelbook, 4K, and Blu-ray, and the 4K of The Witch. So if you are interested in either one of these titles, both, whatever, just leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment down below. So I want to thank you guys as always for watching today. I hope you enjoyed the top 10 list. I hope you're happy with the giveaway items. If you did enjoy my video, please give me a thumbs up, leave some comments, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you'll know when I upload again. And like I said, I'm going to be back real soon. I'll be back before the 5th, but I'm going to be back real soon, and then we're going to do the drawing for the giveaway on the 5th. So that's going to do it for me today. I am going to go and eat my dinner, and for now, that's a wrap.